Welcome back. Tanya from the Village Business Institute is here to give us some information on how to create the balance between caring for our aging parents and working a full-time job. Welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us about your webinar and how people can sign up.
Absolutely. So there's an Eventbrite link that you'll be able to click onto. This is going to be a fantastic webinar. It's a partnership between the Village Business Institute and the Alzheimer's Association of Minnesota, North Dakota. Vanessa Hoynes and I are going to be having a conversation around how do you balance this experience of parents, regardless of how old they are or how far they are along the journey of their progression of illness, and also still working. And
Right.
if that means you are, they're living with you, or you're trying to maintain doing appointments or, meetings by phone while also running your day-to-day life.
Right. So my mother's a caregiver, and for our audience members that don't know what a caregiver is, what is that?
Absolutely. So often we think a caregiver is a person who lives with the aging person, and that is one kind of caregiver, but there are also many, many other kinds. It could include a person who is needing to run bills for that parent. It might be a person who is needing to run and get groceries for that parent, and all of those components are part of the caregiving experience.
Perfect. So I know this is a emotional connection, so tell us about how you cared for your parents.
Absolutely. So my father had an under 2-month experience of cancer from diagnosis to passing. And in that situation, I was able to stay with him because I owned my own business at the time. My mother had an ongoing journey of decline, and we were not able to just be on site because it was over many, 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 many months. And so balancing that journey of doing day to day while also having a ton of stuff both physically to do,
Right.
task-wise to do, and also emotionally to
Right.
deal with as you're walking through. You get a phone call, your mom's going on hospice, and then you're walking into a meeting.
Yeah.
And how do you do that with and support those around you that are doing that at work?
Right. So how can companies and or supervisors help someone who's caring for their aging parent?
Absolutely. One of the most important things is to touch base with them, to check in and to realize that just because you ask, how can I help,
Yeah.
doesn't mean they're going to have an answer.
Right.
One of the biggest struggles is that people don't have the first clue what to do until you're a few steps down the path after you've experienced the moment you probably really did need help. So Vanessa's going to give us some really great insight as to how she, over her years of working with folks, particularly in the dementia and Alzheimer's world, when they'll have those really long caregiving experiences, are able to find balance. Also for coworkers to not only just ask, how can I help, but to just proactively do tasks, helping pick up extra projects, and to know that people aren't always going to be able to articulate or to know when they need the help that they need.
Perfect. I have a personal question. So
Yes.
what about like case management? Do you guys go and touch upon that? Like the case manager that helps with like the hearing aids and the depends and
Absolutely. We will be touching on the fact that those are parts of the meetings that you have to be in. And the challenge becomes that those aren't optional meetings.
Right.
And it's not just you can send one delegate from the family
Right.
to be a part of those meetings. It really needs to be a full family circle, which means a lot of people stepping away from their day jobs for those meetings that happen more and more frequently the more a person declines.
Right.
Yeah.
Alongside your webinar, what are some other resources that we can find and available for caregivers?
Absolutely. So there are just an abundance of options for you to be able to look at, both on the websites for the Alzheimer's Association, for our Village Business Institute, as well as through additional resources that'll be available during the webinar as well.
Awesome. Tanya, it's been a pleasure once again.
Thank you so much.
Your presence and the information.
Absolutely. Take care. Have a good day.
Yes. So coming up next, with Father's Day coming around the corner, we'll be doing some dad jokes here on North Dakota Today.